And we are live. Welcome back, everyone, to Isyour6covered. Appreciate you showing up as always. I got to say, this community that we have built is amazing. I have seen much email love, sending out, helping out, all sorts of crazy stuff's been going on here. So definitely appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, which so far it looks like most of you guys are loyal subscribers or whatever you want to call it, but what an awesome community. But tonight we got a special guest. You guys have seen him before, but we're actually going to talk kind of stuff that's in his, I would say is in his wheelhouse and something that he really likes to, research. And you obviously get to talk to him about that. But I want to say a quick shout out to DP Gunworks, Desert Precision Gunworks. They are sponsoring tonight's chat. So welcome everyone. Let's see. First off, we got Lance Hawley in first place. Wow, nice, very nice. You got the English Rifleman. And we got John Rollins, Carcane, DW, Chris Estes, Outlaw Josie Wales, and Joaquin Jack Nava, Brian T, and you guys are pouring in here. So I'll wait for it to fill up and quit moving my screen around, and then I'll come back around. But let's introduce Dick. You guys know him on the channel. Had a chance. He came up and I got to do some shooting with him as well. So crud. Hold on. I don't know what I just did here. All right, here we go. All right. So welcome to the show, Dick. Appreciate it. And we've had a lot of good conversations. Today was an amazing conversation. We started off talking about fire department and military and stuff. And it kind of morphed into what kind of is one of your hobbies per se, right?
Yeah, no, it's something I discovered in probably 2010, 2011. It became like a passion of mine. I can't get enough information on it. So the psychology behind why we do some of the things we do and how we can use it to better ourselves.
Yeah. So we started talking. It was getting, we were on the end of what we used to do. And then we started talking about shooting matches. And this is going to be not about shooting matches. It is, but it's not. This can be, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Dick, but this is about any sport you may play. You know what I mean? Whether it's basketball, golf, basically whatever just happened, we're going to learn ways to get better. So being that this is kind of a shooting channel, right? We're going to talk about maybe you're shooting a 3-gun match and you just had a horrible stage, or, I like to refer to it as a train wreck, but, whether it's shooting a PRS, whatever kind of style shooting or any type of sport that you enjoy doing, this is going to be something that may help you to get over that little hump of what just happened and move on. So
it could be the positional punisher,
Yeah, it could be the last match that we just shot. I mean, I don't know. It seemed like I've noticed myself getting better, and we can kind of get into it as we get more into the weeds. But there was a point where, when you're really practicing and training really hard, and you have these expectations that are probably not real, right? You're thinking, oh, I want to get like this percentage, or I want to be top whatever. And then say you fail that, right? You didn't get to what your expectations were for the match or whatever. As that's going on and progressing throughout the day, after stage, finding ways to get over those humps is pretty darn, it's hard to do. And I think the more that we do it and the more we get used to it and maybe not make those expectations as tough. But I think, Dick, I'm going to let you run with this. You know what the concept of tonight's chat is. Maybe before we get started, I'll say hi to everybody. Just to, I always like talking to everybody out there because the community out here is so awesome. Let's see, where did I end up? We got hello, 45. Say that again.
I was just saying hello, Jack Nava. He said hey.
Gotcha. Let's go. We got Brian T, Robert Warren, 45 Auto, Joe M, another one. He had sent an email. Thumbs up. Does he Doug B, Joaquin, 80 Baja's out there, CJ Johnson, Mr. Matt Cross, Tree Feller 22LR. He's one of the guys I was kind of talking about how great the community is. I really can't get into any details as of yet, but this community, and he's in Australia, guys. So this channel's not, as large as some of those huge YouTubers, but the shooting community as a whole is very small compared to like cats and makeup and all the other dumb stuff on YouTube. But he was very helpful, and hopefully I get into it later and more, not today, but when I get some more information. But huge thank you, Tree Feller 22LR. Amazing what you may or may not accomplish. Either way, it's going to be awesome. So I appreciate that very much so. Matt Cross is out there, Lead Mining 44. Barry Danick, welcome. Chris Smith, I said. Manuel Lopez. Yeah, no getting over the positional punisher. Well said, Tree Feller. I don't know if that'll ever happen. We got Willard out there. And another thing too, if you guys aren't familiar, this channel was designed about having fun in the shooting aspects of it. But my job, not really a job, but my passion is to give you guys information. You guys know that I'm not, a top professional shooter. The things that you get to learn are the growing pains of a guy that is trying to get his way to be better at a sport that he enjoys shooting. So, you should know that I've never tried to come across as a know-it-all or anything like that. If you're new to the channel, it's about learning, and I'm learning a lot from what you guys put in the comment section, just as much as you guys may learn from myself or people that come on these chats. So do appreciate it. See DW out there, Abigail's out there, Pravada Racing. And I think we're kind of, oh, and TB. I forgot TB. I'm sorry, TB.
Yep, TB.
All right. So let's, where would be a good portion to start? You learn this, and we won't get into your military career, but the whole idea and the concept of why you started doing this would be from, people that you hung around, right?
Yeah, no. So I can go into it a little bit. I won't give names, but I was fortunate. I was coming off a bad deployment, I would say, and going on a next deployment right away. And the commander of that team had just finished up developing and really getting into the sports psychology side of West Point, and he got the program stood up. So I had a really good mentor there. I had a great, brilliant mind to pick almost every day. I read the entire required reading list for West Point's positive psychology or sports psychology program, and just really fell in love with a lot of the concepts that really helped me out. I feel like they've helped my family out, a lot of people I've been around. So
nice. So what would you say is some of your top things that you learned basically diving into this? I know, I'm familiar with the fire service stuff. That was my career for 31 years. But when I started doing arson investigation stuff, it was like a whole nother passion, like something new, right? It wasn't just stretching hoses and putting water out. It was like, whoa, this is really cool. I like this. It's kind of like CSI and, all this like cool stuff that you normally wouldn't deal with on the fire side of it. So it was really cool. What's up, Crazy Scotsman? And the passion became really deep. So it was fun again, very rejuvenating to get to do in the same field, but something kind of new. So I feel like this is kind of like your thing.
Well, we strive for things that challenge us, right? Like if it was easy, nobody does that, right? Like people explore and discover new worlds and all that stuff, not because it's easy, because it's hard, right? Cliche of Kennedy's speech. Realistically, everyone wants to say, oh, I wish the stages were easy. I wish it's this. I wish I was a champion shooter. But if you didn't put in the service, you'd also feel like a cheat. And it's inherent in us. So we seek out things that are challenging. I'm in PRS because it's challenging. I'm not by any means an expert at that. I'm not an expert at sports psychology. I have a degree in accounting. But what you were describing earlier, you know, you train a lot, so we're programmed to remember our worst times and our best times. So we'll have either, unless you're in a state of depression, you're going to be focused on, well, I am capable of this, right? I'm up here. Well, that's not the aggregate of all your training. You're somewhere in that median range, but you're always going to look at yourself as up here. So when you fall short of that in the match, right, because you have different stressors and things pulling on you, it really hinders your self-confidence. And Americans are bad at it. Is we're very negative self-talkers for the most part, and it's just the way our society is. We're very competitive. Usually competitive people typically are inherently pessimistic, right? So how do you get to that optimist side? And really, that's the book that changed my whole world. And he's the father of sports psychology, or positive psychology. Is Marty P. Seligman from the University of Pennsylvania. And he wrote a book, Learned Optimism. And we can go into details, but I think it bored everyone. But realistically, that is what it is self-talk, right? Like, you're not your worst score either, and you're not your best score. You're somewhere in the median. You're capable of great things. So when you have a bad stage, you have a bad match, work on it, get through it, figure out what you did wrong. If you can rehearse and figure out how to correct it right there on the spot and address it, so you can leave that baggage behind you, so you know you're not going to make it again, same mistake, move on to the next stage. It's a big part of it.
You think a lot of it has to do with the goals you set for yourself before the match, or maybe the training prior to the match? Is like a good example would be, you know, I always try to preach this when we're in these chats, is try to utilize smaller targets while training than you would at a match. You know, at the end of the day, if you're going to miss per se, right? Because the targets will be smaller. But when you get to the match, it's really it's gonna be like, man, this seems easier, right? Because you trained to, you know, aim smaller, hit smaller targets. So being able to like get through that, and then say you're doing decent at your training for the week or whatever, prior to the match coming up, and then you just have bad stages. Being able to, I think Ray's a huge component of basically having a mental checklist, and he does a very good job of doing that. And I'm starting to get better at it. You know, right after the stage, go load your magazine. You know, get your dope for your next stage, and then you can help out and spot and, you know, do everything that help the other people, and, you know, spot shots and all that kind of stuff. But the aim small, miss small. That's right, Willard.
You hit it on the head there. So watching, like, I've shot with you now. I've shot with Big Country. I even know myself, right? I'm a social person. You're a social person. Yeah. Ray's a social person, but at a match, he's not a social person, right?
Yeah, he's task oriented, and not so much a job to do, because you can call it whatever you want, but, you know, he has a task that he's trying to accomplish. He has a goal in his mind, I'm sure.
Well, it's beyond that. So I would say it's more of this, right? And I could be wrong. I mean, I'm making an assumption here. Just so you have a little more background, I played high-level competitive golf before the Army. So, and sports psychology is big there too. What you find is, it's having a routine. It doesn't matter what the routine is. Hopefully a part of it is visualization. So you're visualizing where you're going to put the rifle, how you're going to sit there, what you're going to do, how it's going to go through. And you're even kind of visualizing where you're going to have hiccups and how to troubleshoot them before you even get to them. if ideally, right? Ray probably doesn't even realize he's doing that anymore. It's just he can look at it. He inherently sees the problems. It's like you always put your car keys in the same spot. I could get myself out the front door and to work with hardly any cerebral thought process. It's just I'm going on autopilot. That's almost where you want to be. There's a good book on that called Flow. But getting in a flow state, I could say, hey, we would get talking about it and just winging it, like Chris Beck just said, that can be a part of it, of your routine, right? Some people do worse when they think about every aspect of what they're about to do. But if they wing it every single time. They don't analyze the stage, this one, and then the next stage, wing it and be successful.
See, and I used to do a lot of that. We can call it the word winging it when it came to 3-gun. I didn't have the passion. I was there to enjoy fun day of shooting. I could give 2 cares whether I came in first place. You know what I mean? There was no expectation of doing well. I was there. My job was to there, have fun. I get to shoot 3 different weapons, platforms, and then I get to hang out with a bunch of people that I love to hang out with. And that was it. You know, I always wanted to strive for 50%, but I think I was able to do that for the most of the part, depending on how big of a match it was. But, you know, and I'd be like, okay, I'm going to come up with some ideas on the stage plan and thing, but I never really gave a crud about it. It wasn't like as soon as the timer went off, I'm like, okay, I got bullets. They're going in paper, cardboard, and steel. And, you know what I mean? So there wasn't like, if I really cared about that sport as much as I do PRS style shooting, I think I would have done a lot better, but my heart was not in it like it is with bolt gun stuff.
Well, I would agree with Chris Beck too. Like some people make great plans and they fall apart. We learned that in the Army. Like the number one thing that's going to happen to every plan is it's going to go to shit. That's where your training comes in and practice. That's also where, you know, a little bit of having the biggest part of your rehearsal or your routine is that routine keeps everything the same. So you're not mentally scrambled. Like, did I put my spare mag in the mag holder, right, on my belt? Do I have this? Is my dope dialed, right? So I hope he doesn't get mad at me, but Big Country, right? He was so worried about his son, half the time he didn't dial his dope. Or his dope was on the dope from the last stage. So the first 2 rounds are misses. And that miss is completely because he didn't have a routine, right? He didn't go through a routine before he started the stage.
Well, he's in a game, I can guess, you know, I've shot with a lot of parents that have people that shoot. His key role there is to support his son, you know what I mean?
And I would say his son's a good enough shot to where I think they would both do better if they both left each other alone.
Yeah, they're both good. So but I could see where, you know, those hiccups definitely. Like, here's a great question. So remember we had shot that match and you kept using that one mag that was the bad one, right? You're having some feeding issues with. Like, those are the things that can make or break your day, right?
Yep.
And it's like, is it as easy as, okay, I'm going to get a Sharpie and I'm just going to write some on here so I know not to use this mag, not let it get back into the rotation again? Like, there's a lot that goes on if you're not shooting these matches, and it's really not like crazy, but it's like, it's a mental game too. You're thinking, okay, what's the wind doing? Did I take my dope too early? Did I get my environmentals too early? And now everything's changed. So,
see, I would argue, like, people are, I'm reading the comments, people are taking this as it's a complete frontal cortex thing I'm getting at it. And what I'm saying is you want to practice to where this isn't prefrontal cortex. You're not analyzing and and super hyper focusing on stuff, right? Like that's what your practice is, to create rehearsals and create habits. So there's a good exercise that they use a lot in sports psychology. If I had you sign your name, and then I go, okay, I want you to sign below it exactly how you signed above. You would involve your prefrontal cortex and you'd slow down your motor function, and it would come out complete shit. It wouldn't even look anything like the first one. Now,
let me do this. I'm going to try this.
So sign your name.
Let me find a piece of paper here. Let's see how bad I can mess this up. Now, according to my signature, I should have been a doctor, just so you know.
That's me as well.
All right, here we go. I need to write on something smooth, though. Let's do it on here. All right.
Okay. Now make that signature the exact same. There you go. Well, you did the opposite of what most people would do.
Well, see,
so you didn't slow down.
Being a battalion chief for a long time, I used to sign tons of papers, right? So it was like, people will say, write your full name, sign your full name. Okay. Guess what they get? They get that. Right. Put your initials on the thing. But man, everything was this. So that's why I wanted to see.
Okay, so you passed. Most people would slow down and analyze, right?
I passed.
Like if I said, write your name in cursive. Legible cursive, yes, right. Yeah, what happens is you start. Yeah, no. So you're involving your prefrontal cortex. You want to do something enough to where it's no longer an analytical thought. It's just a habit. Like you didn't even realize that you did it. And that's where practice and all that stuff comes in. Typically, if you told someone just sign your name twice, I want 2 signatures, they'd be more identical than sign your name and then now sign it identical to the first one. No variations.
Is that because that little bit of pressure?
No, it's because you're involving your analytical brain.
Okay.
So your prefrontal cortex is your analytical brain. When you start analyzing things, right? It's when you start questioning yourself, right? You start thinking, and instead of just accepting what comes, going with the flow. Like I messed up huge from a psychological standpoint at the Punisher because I gave myself an unobtainable goal. No bolos on a stage, right?
You were doing good till you said that to me, actually.
Exactly. So what I should have said was, I'm just going to do the best I can on each stage, and we'll see how it falls, right? But I started analyzing things too much. So you do get to that. Tree Feller hit it on the head too. Another big thing is a lot of us are our worst critics. And so I can't say it so much with shooting. When I was a golfer and competitive golfer, my self-identity and self-worth was tied to my last golf score, right? Or my last result in a golf match. So if I did really good, I was really high on myself, had a lot of self-confidence. I was untouchable, right? I was Superman. The next one, I completely bombed. I was the biggest piece of shit. You couldn't tell me anything. I was like, you get lost. Maybe I'm more unstable than most people, especially back then. But that is it. When you see, and I'll go to golf because I know it better. If you ever watch a golf match on TV, which probably half of you don't, when a golfer makes a bad shot, they don't throw their club down and just stomp off. They take 2 or 3 more like rehearsal swings after that bad shot because they want to get rid of that bad feeling. They want to rehearse what'll fix it, create that, commit that to muscle memory, then move on and go on to the next.
So you're saying I should bring more ammo then?
Not more ammo, but
but
that's where the mental rehearsal comes in. Like, after you shoot it, I messed up. Let me visualize myself redoing it and being more successful on it. Identify my mistakes, how I can fix them, move on. I'm surprised we haven't lost eight quarters of the crowd here.
You sound like me. 8 quarters.
Yep.
Oh, you were sounding like me because you know me. Josh, Pursuit of Accuracy. He's got a lot of good comments in here, especially the previous ones.
He has been. He's been putting up some really good stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Aries.
Let's see here. Analysis paralysis, Matt Cross says.
Yeah, no.
It's good info. Good info. Let's see. Oh, there's Charles Tiffy. Hardest part of winning a match is the mental aspect of it. If you go in to have fun, not pay attention to scores, forget the clock, you will be ahead of the game.
Yep. Nope. That's everything.
Yeah.
So that flow I was talking about, they're talking about getting in a flow state where you're oblivious to everything around you. You know that feeling when like time slows down, like you lose track of how much time anything took. You couldn't really articulate anything you were really doing step by step. You were just doing what felt natural. That's what they talk about with flow, and realistically, that's probably when you're the most fluid and your motor skills are at the height of their peak of what you're capable of.
I've had a couple to a few matches where I really felt like, man, this is the best shooting I've done. Like everything just seemed really easy. It seemed smooth. Everything was working well. Super enjoyable. And I don't know if I was really trying to make sure that my Kestrel was on, or I'm checking wind, or I don't know. I can't remember what I was doing during those, but it was, I guess you just have good days and bad days, right? I mean, everybody's got good days and bad days. Things just line up, the stars align. You're hitting targets that you shouldn't even have hit. You're like, you're just getting lucky.
Yeah, Chris Beck said it was a strategy I used in golf. Was I never wrote down my scores. Someone else had to keep track of my scores because I'm not. If I started doing that, I started paying attention to how good I was doing or how bad, and that would ruin my round. So I try the same thing in PRS. I'm not very good at it yet. I got to build that habit.
LS2 put a hole in one like I used to. No, Daniel, I haven't got a hole in one. Make gas expensive again. That's right, Jason. What's up, Mr. Eagle Eye Shooting? We had shouted out the sponsor for tonight, which is dpgunworks.com. Desert Precision Gunworks, located in Arizona. Great rifles, custom builds. This guy right here is his YouTube channel name, but this is Kenny over at Desert Precision Gunworks. Go check him out if you want a laser beam of a rifle.
Can't wait to get mine.
How much longer you got on yours?
I don't know. We're waiting on Cerakote, so as soon as it gets back.
Oh man, we could have rattle canned that bad doggy up. You could have been in action already, man. We could have made it. We could have made it look like Skittles. We could have made it look like the Tika all camoed out. I mean,
no, it's got to be camoed. That thing's going for a moose this year. So
nice. That'll be nice. Let's see here.
Middle East situation. That is.
I ain't even gonna get on that right now.
No.
Let's keep it focused at shooting sports tonight.
Yes.
Let's keep it great question, Jason. I'm not trying to disrespect you at all, but we are trying to help sports people get over the hump of their last game, last match,
Hey, and listen to the guys in the chat, because you got some great shooters out there, and Chris Beck, Josh.
Oh yeah. Lots of
out here. We got a lot of people that are high end, well established shooters that are giving you some of their little tips of what they do mentally. I would say that's more valuable than than how you work out where you're going on the stage. The mental stage, or your mental state going into the stage, is more important than your plan.
Yeah, and some of the things to think about too is if you are that person that, because I've seen it in the past, there's a shooter, he's had a horrible stage, right? I mean, like, it was bad. And he has, let's just call it very unsportsmanlike conduct where he's throwing stuff and cussing and, just causing a ruckus, basically. That really sours the squads, and it kind of takes away your mojo going into it. Now you're like, I don't know, you're impacting a lot of people. Not, never be a bad sportsman.
No, but being able to laugh at yourself. I mean, realistically, not yourself. I should reword that. You don't want to laugh at yourself. You want to laugh at what you did, right? There's a lot of famous quotes from everywhere, from tennis, golf, many sports. Shaquille O'Neal and Magic Johnson also had some great input on a lot of this stuff. They would say, they were getting overdue, or that was a stupid move, but they would intentionally never own their mistake. They would push it off on someone else. And I know that sounds kind of disingenuous, but for the mental health of you going through the competition, it does a lot for you, because it'll help you keep those inner demons from beating yourself up from the inside and throwing it all away.
Yeah, some of the things too, we might have hit this up a little bit on other chats, is being comfortable enough to believe in your gear. Like, if you have a rifle that's not shooting great, maybe you got crappy ammo, or you feel like it's not the best ammo, and you're trying to guess, right? Oh, it's probably going to shoot low this time or high this time or whatever. Like, you can't go into it doing that. You got to be able to trust your gear, per se.
No, practice is everything. From dry fire, everything, even mental rehearsals are considered practice. And like, it'll sound really bad, but when I was doing my some of my online work for college, I would get my master's, I'd sit there and dry fire the whole time during lectures. And then if I couldn't do it because I had to be on a video thing, I'd be mentally, but I was so into shooting at that point, but a lot of that goes with it, right? So he hit it on the head. Practice is 100% confidence. Your rehearsals, the quality of rehearsals and the amount of rehearsal you do, which is practice, builds that confidence in your gear, your ability. Right? That old man with the lever action 22 out there shooting squirrels, he knows he's not going to miss with that thing, right? Why? Yeah. Because he has so much time behind it. It doesn't matter what brand it is, what quality, what pedigree it is, right? Like we were talking before, the famous saying, Bruce Lee said, I'd rather go up against the guy that's tried everything once than the guy that's practiced one thing his entire life.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I had talked about the man with throwing rifle kind of thing.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, Jeff Cobbs kind of brings up a good point too. Your job of practicing, training, whatever you want to call it, is to screw up, right? Do all that stuff if you can. Well, it doesn't really matter, when you're practicing.
Yes.
You set your time. You're like, okay, I'm going to shoot this, and you're making up your own little stages, and you're like, all right, here we go, and beep, and oh, I forgot to load my mag, or I only had 2 rounds left, or like, get all that out of the way prior to the match if you can. So.
Yeah. No. The only target you should be concerned with is your next one. That's correct, Matt Cross. You can't change the past. You can only affect the future. You can't even really affect the future. You can only handle what's right now in front of you. If you're thinking even about the next shot after this one, you're screwing up too. So it goes both ways, future and past. You gotta let go of that and just be present.
Yeah, and I remember talking to Kreideman when we were shooting when he was first starting this PRS deal, and I'd be like, after you pull the trigger, don't wait for the sound of the ring to move. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like,
move on. Gone.
Yeah, you're burning. You need to go. You're wasting valuable time waiting to confirm that, yay, that was a ding noise. Like go make another ding noise. When I like shooting something and moving and then hearing the ding. Like, that's always like my favorite thing.
So
much better than this, of course.
To put it in a different context, something else we had talked about away from the shooting for a second, but this stuff works with I was dealing with some survivor's guilt and some other stuff, and then it really works in, I can't change the past. I can't really change what's going to happen in the future. All I can work on is what's right here, right now in front of me. And when you get to that state, things kind of slow down and you become a little more grounded. And it's good advice for life. And I teach it to first responders and stuff. Even this stuff works with when you're walking past a buddy that's been shot and he's bleeding out on the ground, but you still have a thread up. Like, realistically, can you walk past that guy that was your partner for 20 years, throw him your tourniquet and keep moving towards the threat to eliminate it? It sounds easy. We all talk it. We can rehearse it. But until you're in the situation, it's really hard to know what you're going to do. I know that's a little extreme, but it's the same thing in a competition. You could rehearse it 100 times to be perfect in practice. But once you get under that timer, people are watching you. You have other stressors that are on you and pulling on you. Can you be present, or are you more concerned with external things,
Yeah, and that's why I always think it's good. And even people I always tell people, even if they don't do like YouTube or anything, record what you're doing. It'll give you an idea of what you're doing good at, what you need to work on, your strengths, weaknesses. But it can also help motivate you as another issue you have to deal with, right? Like you got the timer. You got the timer that screams this loud noise and basically brain short circuits your brain. And then also knowing that you have a camera, those stressors, though are a pain in the butt, are actually a way to maybe help you, grow faster. Let's see here.
Ooter's out there. Or Otter.
There's Otter. Otter from Iceland. We got Iceland in the house. We got Tree Feller 22LR from Australia. Anybody else from not the 50 states? Let us know. See if we got some more. Englishman was out there earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's still out there or not. The English rifleman.
Getting to talk to Tree Feller the other day was great.
Yeah, it was fun. A lot of fun. It's crazy. He's showing us out his garage door, and it's 12 o'clock here, and it was like 2 o'clock in the daytime over there. And you had said it perfectly, Dick. You're like, so that's what tomorrow's going to look like. Let's see, Matt. We will hire you as a servant to walking. All right, what else we got out here? Check that website. They have everything sold out.
What are we looking for?
Chronos. I don't know. I'm a huge diehard freaking Vortex. You know, when I was building some of these rifles, I had the ability to buy different optics, you know, even more expensive optics, and I just can't get away from them. I started using them, and it is what it is. I thoroughly enjoy them.
I've just always used one type of optic, and I have a hard time changing. I'm pretty much.
That's how I am. I'm just like, the glass is superior to so many. You know, it's like I'm not changing. I don't want to have to learn anything new, and what I have is amazing. So it's like, why would I? Let's see.
It's like we were talking earlier. No one will ever get me to change my AR setup, but I mean, you're talking. I have 20 plus years behind that setup, so it'll never.
Yeah, that's like in your sleep kind of setup.
Yeah.
I see the shirt you got rolling over there. You keep showing.
Oh, I'm not intending. It was given to me.
That's good looking
accountant. That's the accountant in me. Free wins all the time. I don't own an XLR chassis though.
Well, maybe someday you will.
Maybe someday.
Maybe someday.
I hear they're good.
I've had a chance to use quite a few of them, and I like them, but I still the MPA for me.
I ordered the Element 4 for my daughter's gun, but I was told 4 months before that'll get here. So
I think everything is 4 months. You know, I'm looking for a hat. Yeah, that'll be 4 months. You're like, what? I need a pair of socks. 4 months. They don't even give you weeks anymore. That's just
no.
I have one scope that I ordered in 4. I think it was 4/6. So I still got some time with that one.
No, that's my Leopold Mark V H3 7x35. I've been waiting on that. Who knows?
Yeah, Jeff. Yeah, it's going to depend on which scope you're actually looking at as far as the level. I don't know. Once you get used to something and kind of like light gathering, and you just get used to a scope or a car or anything that, you know, most people that buy a certain type of car, if they get a new one and they liked it, more than likely will get maybe a newer one because they're used to it. They like the feel of it and how it handles and all that. Kind of the same thing. I got nothing against any other types of scopes, manufacturers. And the one I use works great, and I'm going to continue to use it. So
you already know what to expect when you look down.
Yeah, I know what to expect when my rifle drops. You know, not like 20 stories or anything, but, you know, I bump it a little bit, or it's in the back of the car, and, you know, we're putting more gear on. Like, I'm not going, oh, God, please don't please don't get near that thing, because I don't want the freaking reticle to whatever, you know. Look, I don't know. It's tried true. I've beaten them up for years, so they seem to work well.
It could be the bean counter in me, but I've done this before that. My wife makes fun of me because I wash my body the same exact way every single time, from head to toe.
Yeah, I got a great buddy. He's a captain for the department I used to work for. He used to be one of my firemen back in the day. And I think from day one, being a fireman to now him being a captain, he has the same routine. He's basically like a 100-year-old man caught in a young man's body. Like, you know, he has like, you know, exactly where he'll be like before the shift starts. Like, okay, 7:30, he's going to be right here, and he's going to have his coffee and his slippers. You know, I mean, it's just, we get into these habits, and good, bad, and different. We're kind of, I don't know, we train ourselves to do stuff like that. It's crazy.
Yeah. Now, if we could get our shooting habits the same.
Exactly. We got Armament and Axes out there. We got a few others that join us.
Yeah. No. We got We got a bigger crowd than I thought we would have.
Jeff Cobb. Jagaki's out there. Hold Left Edge and Senate. Charles Tiffy. Welcome to the show. Big Country. See if I missed anybody. I saw a few others. Seaback, of course. We talked about him.
John Kreiderman knows what we're talking about.
Kreiderman's out there. That's right. Kreiderman. I didn't shout his name out.
I'm sure his job sites, he does things the same exact way every time.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. Buddy D's out there. He saw. And
you know what's funny? Kenny from Eagle Eye had the same exact thing happen to him that I had my first PRS match. I went out there and I'm like, I'm hitting the damn target. Like, how are you not calling impacts? And they're like, you're shooting the wrong target, man.
Yeah.
Because ours was kind of the same way. There's so much steel out there that wasn't in play.
Is this the match you shot with Big Country or the one we were at?
No. This was Center Fire back over a year ago. It was crazy. So I feel Kenny's pain there.
Yeah, I think going from PRS to 22 NRL and then going back to PRS, the things I'm going to have issues with is spotting targets. So everything's been within 500 yards, right? You can usually see something out there, even if it's small. But now you start going out to 1,600 and stuff like that, and you're like, I cannot find this target. So I need to get in that mindset again, trying to find.
I made it a habit to start, getting on glass on a tripod behind it and watch the other shooters and make sure I identified all the targets before and tried memorizing them. It was difficult, but that became my routine.
Yeah, and you're seeing wind calls. You're seeing if, the whole part of the right part of the target or left part's been blasted and everything else is pure paint.
Yep.
Everybody's making bad wind calls and not hitting center.
Yep. No, that's definitely it. But I can honestly say it only happened that first match, and then after that, it didn't happen again. Then it was just me being a shitty shooter. Just trying to rush too much.
Yeah. Well, it's tough. So what was the best way that you were getting over the stages? Because we had a lot of stages like that. What was some of the keys? I know we talked a little bit about it earlier in the chat, but what seemed to work the best for you?
For me, it's realizing look, you're a better shooter than this. You're also just learning. I also was hanging on to all the little positive things that I was being told. Hey, your elevations were great. It was just bad wind calls. So once they started saying that, I got more confident in, hey, it's the wind. It's not me. You'll figure it out the more time you get behind this, the more rounds you shoot. The other thing that was there is just realizing, hey, we're at what's being said to be the hardest match of the year. It's the positional punisher. Everybody's shooting the same exact conditions. Everybody's sucking and complaining. You're no different.
Yeah, and you're going – that's some of the things I think about and shouldn't is I guess it could be a good thing and a bad thing. Okay, if we're missing a lot of targets, more than likely everybody else is. So it's a good thing, but then – okay, he wants to jump on here.
All right.
Let me get X-Ring in here. Guess he's done early tonight. I don't know. Probably driving home. Not home, but to the apartment. All right, so that's done. We'll see if he jumps on.
Yeah, we get a real star in here.
Yeah. TV extraordinaire. Welcome. Let's see. We got the Pulverizer out there. Welcome, Pulverizer. Haven't had a chance. Tree Feller 22. I'll talk to you later, bud. Thanks for showing up.
Yep, Tree Feller.
Other Tim Davis. You met Tim.
Yep.
At the Florida match. Let's see. Are you shooting Sawmill in June? Good question, Big Country. I don't know. Are you going to come out to the Sawmill in June? Let me know. We got Old Man and Cyborg. So we got a special guest, two special guests. We got the famous X-Ring and the Super Cyborg.
Oh man,
Chris, what is up?
What is up, ladies and gentlemen?
I can't believe it's daytime there still. You lazy bugs.
They have lit us out. It is 7 o'clock here.
Wow,
man, that's
great to see you, X-Ring.
Quite early.
Yeah, I'm like all over. This guy, he didn't even hurt. I don't even know. Do you know what hurt means?
Like feelings?
Like feelings? Like hurt my feelings?
Chris Way's a cyborg. He doesn't know what pain is.
He doesn't have nerves. What are you talking about?
Ray's smiling too much to be hurt.
Yeah, you're smiling too much. What do you guys do? Sit around the spa today and like by the pool have like margaritas?
5-mile run out in the desert is what we just did.
Afternoon rubbing my butt.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, he mooned everybody today. They were doing planks, this plank challenge, and somebody said something about your butt cheek showing or something, and you actually pulled your shorts down. Like moon. I mean, the cameras were rolling and all. And somebody was like, "Can you believe he actually did that?" I was like, "I don't know what he did." And they said he just mooned everybody.
So Chris's butt got 15 minutes of fame as well.
No, he got more than 15 minutes.
That's awesome. You guys are rock stars, man. I thoroughly enjoy. I can't wait to see the series for sure.
No, literally. You know what? I don't know how they're going to spin it off. It is up and down and up and down. There's a lot of issues as far as, because it's not it's a competition, but it's not well run as a competition. So some of the scoring, and I don't want to get too involved with the points and how everything works, but it's a poop show.
Hey Chris, we gotta hear firsthand from you, buddy. Is Raven whining like a little biatch like after the thing's over?
No.
Do you have to actually like put him in the car because he can't open the door and sit down, or like would you just
he carries me like a baby?
I mean, I thought it was weird when he wanted me to shower with him so I could like rub him down with soap, but
it's like I can't reach my butt. Can you soap me down? No, just kidding. No, actually, we're going to grab some burgers and then we're going to Massage Envy here just in a minute as soon as we can get a reservation. Because I don't know, I'm hurting bad. Okay.
I was doing a rappel, standing on the edge of this plank, and the fucking edge of the plank
162
broke.
feet.
The plank broke?
The plank collapsed underneath me. So
hold on, show me legs. Can y'all see that? I don't know if y'all can see that.
Yeah, I see it. You all scratched up.
Yeah, it got all of his
tower broke.
Yeah, and I actually have it on film.
I thought titanium was supposed to be light. I thought the cyborg wasn't very heavy.
Dude, I got to get an upgrade.
He's the old T1000.
Oh, you got the T1, the stainless steel version?
T1000.
Closing in on 50.
He's an animal, man. He's battling it out between first and second place. I don't know how it's going to end up. I did move into top 10 today.
Nice. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
That's
and
awesome.
I don't want to give it away, but they have, if you move into top 10, you have the opportunity to take an unknown shot at an unknown distance. And if you hit the target, you got to tell them before you ever shoot the thing. How many you get up to 3 shots. And it's called roll the dice because for every shot that you miss, you lose 50 points from your overall score. But for every one that you hit, you can make 50 points, but it is unknown everything. They take you out one at a time.
Is it the same target or a different target?
You got to hit the same target 3 times. You got to remember, we're in the middle of the desert, tons of wind. And they asked me, they were like, you moved in the top 10. I need an answer within a minute. Do you want to roll the dice? And I was like, heck yeah. He goes, seriously? I was like, yep. So they take me out there and he goes, how many shots? Because you got to tell them beforehand. I said,
hey, wait, don't be telling us anything. I got to turn this live chat on like last.
I was like, all 3. And all I'm going to say was, it was worth it, because I
already know the answer. You got the win call on the first shot and sent 2 home.
Well, that's it.
I would agree.
I've shot with you so much that I know exactly what happened.
So Chris still has the opportunity to do it. So I can't disclose any information as far as distance, what type of platform, because we've shot everything from, 50 cows to you name it out here, and they won't tell you anything. So I won't disclose any of that to Chris as far as the target distance. But all I can say is, for somebody like myself and Chris that does a lot of long range, it's a doable shot. But for most people, it is rolling the dice. If you're not good at wind, heck with that. And you have no idea. There's been no high-end optics here other than some Razor HD 1-6s on some gas guns that we were running. But everything else is just, I think the highest end scope I saw, which you guys know how I feel about, and I hope I don't hurt anybody's feelings, but I'm not a big SIG Tango guy because I've seen too many of them go down with broken parallax knobs and everything. Yeah, any experience with the SIGs?
Never used them.
Yeah. So anyway, that 50 had one of those on it, and so I didn't.
That was my next question. What caliber did you shoot?
I can't answer that because then he'll know.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. You have to not disclose it. Randy Couture was riding in the truck with me today, all the way out there. And, I posted on Instagram a picture with Randy. He's been hanging out with us the whole time.
Yeah, that's cool. That is really cool. I'm excited, man. I cannot wait to see this on TV. I'll probably know the whole story before it comes out, but it'll be cool to see.
Now, Chris has been on the camera like every day, all day, most of the day. I think I've had like maybe 10 seconds of interview.
Well, that's a cyborg. He's the commander of the ship right now.
No, he lost that today, but he'll probably regain it tomorrow.
Gotcha. Good to hear.
Yeah, I don't want to give away the show, but yeah, there's some heavy hitters out here.
Well, why don't you tell Chris to talk about his YouTube channel, then all the viewers can get over there and subscribe.
Yeah, go ahead, Chris. He's not even listening.
Well, yeah, but I've got a YouTube channel. It's relatively new. It's called The Craft. And I spend most of my time talking about riflecraft.com and the system of measuring your fundamentals on a target that tracks it. It allows you to keep track of your fundamental score as you shoot at 100 so that you can refine your technique. And there's some other stuff on there, but for the most part, I spend my time talking about developing rifle fundamentals and
awesome.
And a couple shenanigans. So the YouTube channel is The Craft with a Kraft, and then the website is riflecraft.com. Riflecraft with a K.
Hey, well, we got you guys on here. So tonight's topic is about getting over the hurdle of last bad stage. Talking about that, we have Dick on here, Dick Hedges as well. Basically, sports psychology kind of stuff. And what are some of the steps that you guys take that you can help the listeners and people watching? What are some of the ways that you get over a bad stage? Maybe you had a train wreck, you missed a bunch of targets, kind of deal. What are some of the things that go through your head to help you get to the next stage and not deal with it?
I try to take a little walk, get some oxygen in my head. So I usually walk to where the car is and back. And
that's usually 10 miles.
I was going to say. And that
I
seems
usually
clear your head.
I try to figure out why I had the bad stage, what I did to make it a bad stage, and then I immediately put it out of my head. You cannot let that fester. You will screw up the next stage. And, you know, for those that are watching, we've had Chris on the channel once. I think it was on my channel, maybe Rick's. But, Chris, didn't you just compete in NRL Nationals?
Mhm.
And I think you finished 30th overall in the nation. So he's, you know, a legit long-range PRS shooter, sponsored by XLR Industries, among a ton of other sponsors. Who sponsors?
Proof Research.
Proof Research.
Burger Bullet.
And
Burger
Chris,
Bullets.
if you look at Dick's shirt, he's wearing an XLR shirt right there.
There you go. Way to represent.
A lot of the, not a lot, but you know some of the people out here as well, Chris. You got Charles Tiffy. He was one of the ROs at the last NRL. So yeah, there's a lot of good people listening. And can you talk a little bit about that assassin? What is it called? The Assassin Challenge, or what?
Assassin's Way.
Assassin's Way. Do you have a minute to talk about how cool that is?
Sure. Yeah. Assassin's Way is a 28-day field match that is, you know, not only 28 days long, but it's designed to test people across a variety of terrain. So, you know, unlike some matches where, you know, if you live you live in that area, you're used to the environmentals, you have kind of an advantage. And so they're trying to level the playing field a little bit by moving it through 8 states. And so we're going to start in Texas, and we're essentially going to make a diagonal towards Washington, zigzagging through all the states, and then back to Texas. So there are going to be a lot of stages every day throughout the 28 days, day and night. They're going to provide time hacks that are essentially the Google Drive time to get from one place to another, plus 1 hour of rest. So it's going to be strategically, it's going to be a really cool match. It's going to be covered by Recoil TV, and you know, it'll involve all the field stuff that you see here at Surviving Man and Sniper Adventure Challenge, and hopefully a whole lot of unknowns.
Now, COVID pushed it back a little bit, right?
Yeah, it was delayed a year, so it's not until 2022.
Okay, so that's even more time to practice and get polished up for this thing. Obviously, what you guys are doing this last week is definitely going to help. You know, so
Hope so.
Yeah, for sure.
Better than picking his nose is what he said.
Yeah, better than sitting around doing nothing, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm hoping not to see you, Ray, for at least another 4 days. And
I'm actually it's over with Thursday evening, and so I've already booked my flight. So I'll be coming into home on Friday morning. But I heard that there's like no gas anywhere where we live.
Nope. If you can, bring some on the plane.
Yeah, I heard even in Charlotte there's no gas.
No, nowhere. The only
This
reason
all
why I
happened
found
while
about
I
it
was
yesterday
gone.
was my daughter had called me and said, "Hey, Dad," basically gives me the spiel. I started driving around, and she is right on the money. I'm talking every gas station, and you know where I'm talking. There is not. I mean, roads are closed off because of the line goes all the way out and onto the main highways everywhere.
Mile line in Charlotte to get gas. No,
Say that again.
my dad said in Charlotte, the lines were over a true mile just to try to get gas.
Yeah,
I believe it. No, I didn't know what was going on. Rick called me. Thank God he called me last night. Was able to get some, but
Yeah,
it's not good. Now, if you have a diesel, a lot of the places still have diesel, but they are out of fuel. By the time I was able to get fuel, the only thing available was super, and they've already spiked all the prices. So
yeah. All right, well, guys, we got to get something to eat. Maybe I'll chat with you later on, Rick, Dick. It was good seeing you.
good seeing you.
have a good one, you guys. Keep
All
it
right.
going, man. Kick butt, and can't wait to hear about it.
All right. Sounds good. See you.
Adios.
Bye.
So there you go. A little quick update from Nevada.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love it. They got out early, which will give them some extra time to rest. And
But what did Ray say? He figures out what made him do bad on that stage, figure it out, let it go, and move on.
yeah, no. And it was kind of neat. They jumped in for a little bit, and we that was like a commercial break. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. No, awesome. Awesome.
Tim Davis says we went from energy independence to gas shortages in 6 months.
Yes.
Yeah, very true. Glad I'm in Oklahoma. We ain't got that crazy stuff going on. Yep. Not yet. Yeah, diesel's available. Chuck Yeager is no relation to the poser that I know of. All right. Let's see.
No, I think I don't know. It seems as though to me that media doesn't want to show any blunders, but
no,
they're really not covering the Israel thing either. So
nope, smoke and mirrors, buddy. It's all smoke and mirrors.
Well, enough of that.
Enough of that. Yeah. Well, how long have we been yapping for? We did pretty good. We're at an hour so far. That's pretty good. We still got a little time. I like it. Usually I'll look at the clock and be like, oh man, we're already out of time.
Yeah. No, I'm that boring. I'm glad.
What's that?
I said I'm that boring. I'm glad.
No, you're not. Hopefully you guys had a chance to hit the thumbs up button. I don't know how many thumbs up we got. DW, maybe you can give us or Joaquin or Lynn Holt or HRM Weapons Machinist. How many thumbs up do we have going? Are you guys doing good or doing bad? Let's find out. Let us know down below. That's right, Joaquin. Hit the thumbs up, folks.
So what do you guys struggle with? And what is most of the viewers of this channel, when you do a self-assessment after a match, if you do one, right? What do you find is your big crutch? Let's hear what some of you guys' self-diagnoses or prognoses are.
There you go. Rick, are you doing your job and Ray's at work? No. If Ray's gone, I'm gone. That's just how it works. Let's see.
You just missed them, Smoky Mountain boys.
What up, KC? Yeah, you just missed Ray. He was just on here. You have to go back and watch this later. Or back up about 20 minutes. Probably less than that, actually. Let's see. Buy a bunch of gear, sold what I didn't use at the match. LOL. Yeah. Well, that's a tough thing. You go, well, if I had this, could I have shot it better? The answer probably 2/3 of the time is probably no.
Look, we could probably say it till we're blue in the face, but no one will actually do it. And don't buy anything except for a rifle and go to 2 or 3 matches. Everyone's going to let you borrow their gear and then figure out what you want.
Yeah, and save yourself about $600 in the
Exactly.
meantime. Big Country says wind and building good shooting positions.
Yes.
There you go. Wind is the devil, Bobby. Yeah,
good shooting positions is key.
And depending on where you shoot, if you're shooting where it's really flat and there's no topography changing things around, but you start getting into these canyons or especially out in Utah, it was horrible. Actually, it was Evanston, Wyoming, I think is where the match was, or Utah. You shot through canyons and around canyons and in canyons, and man, it was really tough trying to figure out the winds.
I'd say here in Florida, we're so flat that wind, if we have wind, it's strong wind typically, and so you're not dealing with light breezes or.
But is it very consistent though?
No, it'll get gusty, especially the match we're at with Big Country. it kept gusting because we had thunderstorms coming in. So it lay down to like 5 miles an hour and then be up to 35.
Oh wow, yeah. Especially with the 22 long rifle, that's a pain in the butt. Hitting Steel says I should go and borrow a rifle and ammunition. There's actually people who do that. There's a lot, not a lot. I would say there's probably someone. I know Chris, not right now, but he used to bring a spare rifle just in case somebody's broke down.
Yeah, I'm trying to get there for the match we're going to host down here. I want to get a few rent or loaners.
That's cool. We need to get that match set up where we can get Big Country. Maybe we can get Charles, Tiffy, Seebeck down there and like really get a big, it'd have to be like a couple day thing to make it worth people's while, but not so much the shooting portion, but it'd be fun to get everybody together. Okay. And anybody else that wanted to shoot it, of course.
Seebeck says he typically sucks on the first stage, so he started spending more time on the zero range.
Yeah, I can see that. That definitely can help. Oh, Tree Feller's back. Get your butt to work.
There he goes.
Did you see the new giveaway from Voodoo? I have not. Are they giving away a rifle?
Yeah. It's the ultimate build or something like that. It looks pretty good.
Really? No, but I'm going to have to get over and check it out. Now, are we talking on Facebook or YouTube?
I saw it on Instagram.
On Instagram? Okay. That's pretty cool. What's up, Hidden Steel? Say that again. I'm sorry. I was talking over you.
I said it may not be the only place.
Oh, gotcha. What do you have to do to enter?
I don't know. I saw it, and then you were texting me for the link here, so I.
Oh, gotcha. Let's see. Lynn Holt's got a question. Says, are targets painted a particular color and it matches? Assume white and well, depending on what it is. Like Chris' last match, we had black targets that were painted in a shaded under some trees. But that was a complete like kind of outlaw match, so that's different. But usually they're white, and most of the time, depending on if that's the stage you start on or the next one you go to, and then after that, they've been pretty well pelted, especially if they're tiny. And then they're basically all the targets are gray by the time lunchtime comes around. So look for gray targets. Now, here's a question for you and everybody out there. I was watching an article. And when I say watching, I mean, it was either YouTube, I read it on, some type of chat or whatever it was. But I noticed the guy was using yellow lenses. And I know from the shooting, when I was shooting sporting clay, depending on like if it was a bright day, a very cloudy day, all these things, it makes your eyes focus on like a flying disc, which is a clay pigeon. Gives you, you catch it a little bit faster, give you a little more time to react. But I guess yellow, and maybe you guys can sound out there. That bright yellow supposedly makes the targets, steel targets that have been basically blasted all day long, easier to find. Does anybody know if that's true or false?
I wore amber lenses in country a lot because it helps with depth perception.
Okay. Tree Feller says he saw it on YouTube, so that's good. I'll have to take a look at that. Just shoot a tips target, becomes silver.
Yeah, Six Creator. It is in Lake Placid, Florida.
Yeah, I have heard that too. Charles Tiffy brings up a good point. Once the target's been blasted, and if you shoot A-tips, which, they cost a little bit more, and depending on what caliber you're shooting and all that stuff, but you'll be able to spot the A-tip target hit impact, where the rest of it, usually like a lead base, it's different. Anyways, it marks it off different, so you can actually tell when you have a target that's been completely smoked all day long and is no longer white anywhere. you can actually spot your shots. That's what Keith Baker does too, and he's second in PRS pros right now.
Nice.
Center fire. I had a chance to shoot with him in Hornady, and we kind of talked about that for a little bit. So I could see that being a big help for sure. Oh, vermilion is good for overcast. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Oh, Tree Feller's poking me there with the Instructor Zero comment.
Let's see. Eagle Eye, how's the pistol advice from Dick going? Instructor Zero level yet? And we talked a little bit about that last night. I tell you what, if we gotta somehow we need to build a video next time we're together, Dick, where you critique my pistol shooting. You know I'm always up for getting critiqued.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of fun. I actually been talking about trying to take a class down in Florida with Dick, so it'd be kind of cool. Can always use the help. Top 15 or so in the PRS and NRL shoot A-tips. They just work. Yep. Yeah, they're good bullets for sure. What else?
Can you find me some?
Yeah, there's a good question. Can you find any?
Oh, man. I was looking for some 105 A-tips earlier.
Yeah, what was weird was Keith Baker was shooting – he was shooting a 6.5 Creedmoor last year, at least on the Hornady PRC. And I was shooting 147s, and I don't know what A-tips they make. It's like a 153 or something. Does anybody know? It's a 6.5 projectile, but I was like, dang, that's a heavy bullet. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, those cast bullets are going to be a pain in the ass for you, Eagle Eye. If you give me a discount, I'll send you out a case of some Full Metal jackets. He's already given me good pricing. I can't complain about Eagle Eye's pricing on a rifle.
No, he does an amazing job, and he doesn't credit himself good enough.
No, he doesn't.
He should be charging double.
Double, yeah, no, that's. If I was his accountant, I'd be telling him that.
You're like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
What's up, Bald and Curious? Welcome. Charles Tippy says they don't make a 105. I don't believe that.
No, I don't think they do either. I think it's a 110, like you said.
All right. Hey, Vanessa Kitty. Yeah, we gotta get Eagle Eye out there shooting the Canic. Get ready for doesn't SIG have that infinity guarantee?
No, I was bouncing between Burger 105s and A-tip 110s. Can't find anything.
Yeah, I don't know what's out there anymore. I was lucky enough, Papa Les, or no, what's his real name? Papa's Place. So I did get to order that freaking. I didn't get it yet, but basically the correct bushing. So I'll be able to make some bullets here shortly. I paid almost as much for shipping. You know this, but I'm just kind of telling everybody as much for shipping as the bushing just to get it here quicker. So
it's crazy. Now who knows if it'll even get there in time. They won't have
what does UPS do and FedEx when it comes to I can't find any fuel. Every morning on the way to Microtech, and I don't know how to say this because you're gonna think I'm exaggerating, but there's an Amazon, one of their big building things, and it's like just rows and rows and rows of Amazon and FedEx trucks that come to this one gas station right about 8 in the morning every morning. I mean, there's probably at least 30 between the two different companies. It's just like, man, I guess. So I don't know what those guys are going to do. They might be like riding them on bikes. It might, anything that was supposed to be here, let's say in a couple days, is probably going to be like 10 days because they have to ride bikes now.
Yeah. Whole left hedge. Yeah, you're right. No, They almost want as much as a loaded bullet used to cost for those.
Well, that's why I'm looking into well, I better wait on that. I'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go, right here. Did you see this?
Yeah, no, that's what I was talking about.
Okay.
So those A-tips on Midway, they almost wanted as much as you'd pay for a loaded round
Wow.
back in the day. So the price was really steep. I was hoping to find them cheaper.
The Fury does. The AB version, which is the applied ballistics version, the Vortex Fury, actually does. That's what I was going to get to. Is I'm interested in getting one of those. So we'll see what happens. But I think because I have the SIG kilos, the BDXs 3000s, and they're great. But I want to see how much better the Vortex ones are. And of course, Vortex has the best freaking warranty in the business. So that's kind of a good reason. All of a sudden your tripod gets blown over, falls down a, 30-foot freaking cliff or whatever. You retrieve it, and now you got 2 half pairs of binoculars. A lot of these companies are going to just laugh at you and say, sucks to be you. So that's another huge bonus to Vortex. So anyways, it is what it is. But they are basically twice as much, though.
Yeah.
So. The Fury comes in a 10 by. I was doing some research today. I wish I had the notes with me. Dang, I can't think right offhand. It's basically the same power, I believe, as a. If you're talking about the one with applied ballistics, they do make different binos that are more powerful. But if you're looking for laser rangefinder with it has its own internal thing, but also be able to link with Kestrels and have applied ballistics already built in. There you go, 10 by 42. You're going to be looking at that version, which is magnification wise. I think it's is the same as the SIG. So things to think about.
Oh yeah.
But you got to remember all this stuff. The reason why you see I'm buying, great quality, the HD version, which is more expensive, but these are all investments. Like I know if I spend the money right off the bat, I know that's an investment that'll go in the next rifle and the next rifle, so it's not like you sell it with the rifle. You keep your optics and utilize them unless you want to change reticles or something, something like that. Like I like to do every once in a while, but it is what it is. Rick, 1150 shipped with one of these certs from Euro Optics. I hear you, buddy. I hear you. I'll have to call you later on that deal. Appreciate it, though. Let's see. But yeah, that's one of my big reasons for loving Vortex so much. Second to none when it comes to that warranty stuff.
We got at the range, we got a pair of binos from the new HDs, the UHDs. I think they're 12 by.
Oh, really?
Nice, really nice binos.
Rangefinder capabilities?
No, but they were probably some of the night. I think they were 12 by 50s.
Yeah.
UHD.
I will say that I wish I had a little bit more power in the SIGs, and it would probably be the same with the Vortex because the power is the same. When it comes to like spotting farther shots, and now getting back into like center fire PRS style stuff, that's where I really think you don't want to have to carry 2, but man, it is nice to have a freaking spotting scope as well. So there's definitely pluses and minuses to everything, right? But it sure is nice when you're shooting a 1,500-yard target, or you're trying to watch somebody shoot a 1,500-yard target with a pair of SIGs. Even at 700 yards, you may see the impact, but it's a lot tougher than if you're running spotting scopes, because we've done it both ways, and it makes it tough. But the problem is now you start carrying everything like the kitchen sink. It's like I got 600 pounds of crud I'm carrying. It's like can't do it.
No, I ended up going the spotting scope route. And I wish I would have got the binos with rangefinders.
Yeah, because you have the handheld one right now.
Yeah, and it's.
I mean, you know what I mean, the small rangefinder style.
And it works good, but when you get out to 1,000, I'm not hitting anything.
Yeah, there's a lot of times. Well, that last match was a perfect example. Trying to hit lollipops at like 400 yards, I couldn't tell if I was ranging the actual target or if I was missing it.
Yeah,
and I don't know if the vortex will be any better, but it seemed like the circle where it's supposed to be where you use it as your aiming device, it was almost too large. Like it wasn't pinpoint enough where you're like shooting at the target and going.
Yeah, but that's the problem with all of them. I mean, this is going back to my FO JTAC days in the Army, but you're always going to have beam dispersion. So at range, it's always the dispersion of the beam is going to be larger than your target. So then it matters whether it's going off a first return, the first thing it hits, or if it's going off a last return, the last thing that beam hits. And you really got to know that. Might have to do some more research to find that out.
Yeah, and that's why having a tripod is very beneficial when you're trying to get a perfect range on a target using a lot of people you'll see they're resting on something, whether it's a tank trap or a post that's in the ground or something, in order to stay a little more stable to get what you would consider an accurate reading. That's really seems to help out with a tripod for sure. But that's more stuff you're carrying again.
Yeah. No, and so a trick, if your rangefinder works off a first return, you want to aim at the top third of the target high, and if it works on last return, you want to aim at the lower third of the target.
Now, do you know how? Can you tell us more about this? Because I'm not. I don't know much about what you're talking about, so I'd like to learn.
So think of it as a flashlight, right? So the closer you are to the lens of the flashlight, the narrower the beam is.
Okay.
And the further it goes out, it disperses, right?
Yep.
So a laser works as it hits an object, it sends a signal back, and that's how it knows how far it is, by the timing difference, right? The speed of light. Well, it works either on first thing it hits. So if it's going off of the first thing it hits and returning, and that's the number it's giving you, you want to aim at the top third of the target. So the first thing it hits is going to be the top of that target. If it's going off a last return, you want to aim at the base of the target, so you know that at least the last thing it's hitting is that target then.
Now, when you're saying the base of the target, you talking about the bottom of the steel, or are you talking about like the post that it's on?
Well, it depends on how high the post is off the ground, but typically I'd be putting it about midway, so the top of my reticle or the circle inside is at the base of the target.
Gotcha. And CBEC, I got to try this to see. Use the scan mode and scan across it. You'll see the target distance usually. I'll give that a shot. Yeah, because what I'll end up doing is I'll find the target. I'll try to get it locked in with the tripod, stay as stable as possible, keep the circle on the target, hit the button without moving anything, and then confirm it like 2 to 3 more times.
Yeah. So on most of those laser rangefinders, it's something you don't typically, most people don't look at and read, but in the manual, it'll tell you if it's first or last return.
Okay. Yeah, and that can be a huge thing. I'm not a huge I'm going to read the manual kind of guy. I don't know if I was growing up with that where my dad's like, we don't need this.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can build this thing without. I used to pride myself on you get a box and then have a picture on it, say you got a toy, right, or something. Just utilizing that picture, trying to, you got all these screws and bolts and whatever else, depending on what you're building. And you're like, okay, I want to make all this junk look like that thing on that box. But then usually, there's a few extra of this and a couple of those. And
well, now with the internet on your phone, I mean, I really don't keep the paper manual, but I'll look it up.
There you go. Let's see here. David J's out there.
Oh, man.
AR Guns is out there as well. Who else out there? Rick S is out there. He made it, he says. Welcome to the show, bud. Make sure none of you guys snuck in here. We got Bald and Curious. I said his name. Daniel got as my judge. I think I got everybody. AR Guns. Yep. Vanessa Kitty. I think I got everybody. If not, James Smith's out there as well. Welcome. Let's see. What kind of questions we got out there? It's getting hotter and quicker. K24's out there. Welcome. Jeff Cobb. Anyone have a lead on a Bagara B14R barreled action? I know a guy that's got one. I don't know if he wants to sell it or not. I would assume he might. I don't know. I can give him a call when he comes back from Nevada. Or ask him, I mean.
There you go.
Interested. Let's see. One day when Hornady sponsors me, I'll shoot A-tips. Until then, 107 Sierras. There you go. You know what? Can't get into it, but you know what? Just keep wishing and dreaming, buddy. Someday it may happen. You just never know. Someday you may just find the right person on here that'll hook you up with the right contact that may help you out with something. So just saying, keep your fingers crossed at all times. Seeing an email about the Matrix. Saw it at a J Sports.
There you go.
There we go. See, got all you great people out there with the ability to find stuff. All right. I'll take a look at it, Jeff. I'll wait till we're off of here, but
you're welcome, Jack. Joaquin Nava. It's great having you on here.
I appreciate it, Joaquin. You lucky man, you. When's that trigger getting here, buddy? I need to know. I need to see when you're going to blast that thing out. Thanks again, Jeff Cobb. I'll definitely read more into that here in a minute. Bunny fart loads out there. What's going on? I got to drive 90 miles to my next location. All right, you drive safe. Stay safe out there, and you bring a gas can, man. I don't know where you're driving exactly, but fuel's tough to find right now. Imagine being on a road trip right now, Dick, and be like, you know how normally you're like, okay, I got enough fuel to get to here where I know there's gas, but if they don't have gas,
I'm screwed.
Yeah. So it's like right now, if you're, it's summertime, people are trying to, it's a little early yet, but, people are going to be out of school soon. So people are going to be doing the family vacations. And I don't see this taking on very long. But
I think it's a good thing kind of that I had that other obligation come up this weekend because, like you said, driving up there, and I don't know if I'd be able to get back.
Yeah, exactly. That is a great point. What's up, Manuel Lopez? How you doing, buddy? Oh, and they offer a 10% discount.
No.
Shazam.
There's Elster.
Where's Elster? We got Elster out there. What the heck? Oh, Lord. Smells like trouble. What's up, Todd? If you guys want to learn how to reload or you want an annealer, Elster's Rifles and Reloading is a great source of learning reloading. And also, he is the man, the myth, him and his partner, the new annealer. So you guys go over there and check it out. EP Innovations. I believe that's how you say it. They got an amazing annealer that's really simple to use, which is cool. So there you go, Mr. Elster. A little quick plug for Mr. Elster. Let's see. James Smith, the thing with A-tips isn't accuracy. It's knowing exactly where you hit steel on a shot. Yeah, I noticed there's a huge difference in what it looks like. It looks like it got shot by gold, basically. Eagle, I got a great point. Tesla owners be like, you thought this car was stupid? Who's stupid now? You know what? All those people driving around in what are those Toyota cars called?
Prius?
The Prius hybrids? Yeah, those guys are. I'm not even going to say it.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, they might be onto something there.
I don't know. We had a kid die in a Tesla this week here in Florida.
How come?
Went through a manual update and it stopped letting them drive. I guess they went too long without accepting the update.
Not on the road.
Yes.
It stopped right in the middle of the road?
Yep. And so I guess the kid, it's real hot out like today, and kid asphyxiated because it took over an hour and a half.
Oh, so they pulled off at least.
Yeah.
So this didn't have anything to do with the car
Well,
accident.
no. It said, hey, you only got X more number of miles of travel before
Lockdown or whatever.
I don't know how those things work. I don't know one. It was just on the news.
Wow.
So
hey,
when
when your car's telling you something, you might want to listen. And I wouldn't be surprised if those cars actually told you, not a little, a little yellow check light kind of thing. Like, hey, dummy, I told you this for the last 300 miles. Get over. I need to download something. I can't even imagine what our kids are going to be doing, and our grandkids are going to be dealing with.
They're going to be Snapchatting while their car is driving them somewhere.
Yeah, flying cars and Snapchat while you're driving. Can't. I just hope I die before then. Let's see here.
Oh, man.
I'm just saying. I don't think I even want to see that much technology. Yeah. I want to be driving my little 4Runner. It's going to have like 300,000 miles on it. I'll be having to like make my own fuel somehow and like add a moonshine and, like add some, I don't know, plastic to it or something. And
Len Holt got a good point. What happens when your car gets the blue screen of death, like your computer?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what you do. That's the reason why I don't buy one of those dang things.
Oh, man.
I saw a Tesla pulling a generator plugged in while driving. Oh, that's genius. You go to the bike rack things in the back and you got like I don't know what size generator you need. That's freaking amazing. Of course, all you're doing is burning fuel. Yeah, Smoky Mountain Boys. That's right. Moonshine. Same thing that happened to that kid. Yeah, exactly. couldn't the guy have gotten out of the car?
I don't. I still think it's mostly bad parenting. But like everything, we're gonna blame it on the car manufacturer. You know.
Of course. You know how much money they'll probably make on that deal? A gas-powered generator? Question mark. Yeah, that's right.
Where are you getting the gas?
I don't know. I think if I owned one of those cars, I would make like a wind sail made out of solar panels.
What would? I don't know how true this is. Like I said, I've never owned one. I was told by my buddy that's a firefighter that they're dangerous in the fact that you have that whole thing's one big ball of electricity in an accident, and you got to discharge it before you can even start saving people.
That's very true. Yeah. There's a whole step process. And that's half the reason why I retired, because I just got tired of trying to learn all this newer stuff. But yeah, there's the way, you know, how does that work with the amps versus voltage? Like, you know, one can kill you.
Voltage will kill you.
Yeah. So however they wire these things up, there's a process to getting basically dumping that charge.
It's crazy.
Yeah. It is great. And that's the same thing with like airbags and everything. Those are basically charged, you know, ready to go at a moment's notice. So you got to really, you start cutting when we're trying to cut roasts off of cars and stuff, you start cutting the wrong stuff or cut into the cylinder, the gas, basically the cartridge that, you know, makes it happen. Yeah. Bad things happen. Now it's a lot of peeling and pulling and investigating before you start cutting. Where before, back in the day, I was just like, okay, and then lift the roof off kind of stuff. But it is what it is. Well, man, this was a great chat. Hopefully everybody out there had an enjoyable time. Hopefully you learned something or at least had fun, smiled. I'm pretty sure everybody learned something. I know I learned quite a few things on here tonight. So if you haven't had a chance, and you're new to the channel, which I'm pretty sure everybody out there is very familiar, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that thumbs up button. Anything you want to say, Dick, before we get out of here?
No, thank you for having me on so many times this week, and I've been glad. Hopefully, I have a little bit of knowledge to share. I'm learning all this stuff just like everyone else is. You know, just happy to share anything I know or may help.
Six Creeder got lucky, bought 500 Hornady match boat tail hollow points.
Oh.
K24 says, cut the blue wire. Let's see. Backseat full of lemons with copper and zinc nails. See, Matt Cross would know how to make a battery. I mean, you can just tell Matt's got his.
No. You're not fooling Matt Cross.
No, you're not. Smart as a whip, that guy. Let's see. All right, you guys, you have a wonderful night. Stay safe. Hopefully I'll probably see you tomorrow, maybe. We'll see what happens. And maybe I'll have some good information tomorrow, some super excited information. No guarantees. I won't be sad either way. I guess I'll be a little bit sad. But something cool may be coming. So
there we go.
Who knows? But you guys thoroughly enjoy each and every one of you coming and supporting the channel, watching, and great comments and all that fun magic stuff. So you guys have a great night, and see you on the next one. Bye for now. I can't remember who used to say that back in the day. Bye for now.